Hi and welcome. This is my June review for Libra Sun Sign and Libra Rising. We start this month with a look at the Black Moon Lilith, and in fact we will continue to look at her throughout the month. She's now into Cancer. She's just moved into Cancer from Gemini, and so the shadow she casts when she's in Cancer is about a fear of abandonment. So we need to work on our independence to overcome this. Be an individual person in our own right, not reliant or dependent on anyone else. This is the goal for the year. Then the other thing we need to look at is the fact that the Black Moon Lilith is now in your 10th house. Now the 10th house focus is going to be on also another fear, because the Black Moon casts that shadow fear wherever she is. Now in the 10th house is the fear of not being in control of things. So maybe that you feel during the year that things are out of your reach, so to speak, not in control. But the thing is not to try hard to get control back, and definitely not to control other people. You have to let this be, let this go. Learn to live with the fact that you can't be in complete control of all your life all the time. Now we have two aspects that start the month off. There's a square from Mars, which will bring some of the frustrations and irritations to do with the Black Moon out to the surface. So this is perhaps the negative side of the shadow side will start to surface. And you need to be aware of that. But the other aspect is a positive one. This is Venus making a positive aspect, so this is good for getting yourself realigned. Now that you know the Black Moon is in the changed sign and changed house, then you can start to work with it. You have a whole year of it in this area, so start to work with it, put things right, realign yourself with your new path, so to speak. On the 3rd, we have Mercury turning station direct. Now Mercury's been retrograde in your 8th house, so now he's going direct and will be picking up momentum. It's time to start looking at your resources, and maybe if you examine them closely, you'll find you're actually better off than you thought. And maybe it's a good time as well to borrow money if you need to, or to shear up, budget, make plans so that you make better use of what you've got. Now, all those plans that you had to put on hold over the last few weeks, you can now reinstate some of these, well, the best ones anyway. There's a square from Saturn, which means that you can look at things practically and put those plans into action that are good. Just be wary that there's also an aspect from Neptune, so some of them might be a little bit pie in the sky, and you may need to shelve the ones that are not facing the reality check. Then on the 4th we have Saturn going station retrograde, and this is in your 5th house, but it's time to work with the planet while it's in this retrograde motion. Now Saturn's already been retrograde in this position once before, so in case you've missed things you have another chance. And with the 5th house it's about being creative for creative's sake, letting the ego be put aside so that you can just create. And this is also a good time if you have children, is to make sure that you allow them to be creative and not live through them, but allow them to be their own person in their own right. Also, it's a good time to examine anything you have that may be blocking you and holding you back in that creative side. Try and remove that while Saturn is in retrograde. On the 4th we have conjunction between Pallas Athena and Uranus. This is happening in your 8th house. Now when these two come together, it's a sure sign that there's going to be some dramatic social change, and being in your 8th house, it could be within the groups that you belong. Now if you have any planets around 16 Taurus, Leo, Aquarius or Scorpio, then this could affect you very, very personally. If not, it could just be a general thing that will happen around you, so to speak. Now, the other thing we have with this aspect is that it could be involved with the healing side of things. Now, it could be that it's time that you have some healing and you want to accept some healing from some professional, or maybe that you have the inclination now to become a healer and want to look at some kind of therapy that you would like to be involved in. Now on the 5th we also have another aspect that backs this up, because the Sun makes a positive aspect to Chiron. Now the Sun in the 9th house of philosophy and spiritual side of things makes that aspect to Chiron in the 7th house. So again, it could be a time when you come in contact with someone who helps to heal you, or vice versa, when you help someone else. And again, the interest in the healing arts will be quite strong at this time. On the 9th, it's an excellent day for delving back into the past, because we have the now direct Mercury making a positive aspect to Pluto in the 4th house of the past. And we have obviously Mercury in that 8th house. This is a good time to really dig deep. This is time to gather information, gain knowledge that will now help you go forward in the future. On the 11th, we have your ruler Venus making a conjunction with Uranus, and this is always going to bring excitement and unusual events. Anything could happen at this time. This is great for relationships, because if you want to inject some excitement into your relationship, then this would be fantastic and ideal. If you're not in a relationship, this could be a time when someone suddenly, unexpectedly appears out of the blue, and it's more than likely to be someone that you connect with on a mental basis, but it may be a little bit unstable if the relationship progresses. On the 14th, we have our full moon. Now, there's a little bit of a discrepancy here, because the full moon is in Sagittarius, so this is the sign of fun and adventure, but it's in the mundane 3rd house, which is the house of everyday activities, duties, obligations you need to tend to. So there's a little bit of balancing that you'll need to do here. You need to get all those tasks done, apply yourself to your emails and your paperwork, and then you can have some fun with Sagittarius. Now, the other aspect we have at this time is between Mars and Chiron. This is in your 7th house. So this is a time when you may be in touch with someone that can help you and you can help them. This could be a mutual kind of healing exercise that could go on here. But also with this Mars aspect, it's an ideal time to use the past. Use your past wounds to motivate you into achieving something successful in the future. On the 15th, we have a day when you can plan a new adventure and learn something new, but in a structured way, because Saturn has an aspect with the Sun. Sun's in the 9th house, so it's a great day for learning something spiritual, philosophical. Great day for planning and using your creativity, but in a structured manner. Then on the 16th, we have a triple conjunction. Now this is great because it's your ruler Venus in conjunction with Pallas Athena and the Moon's North Node. So this could be a day when things happen. We spoke earlier about things that may be coming up, may be happening. This is a time when it could all come together, because with the North Node there could be doors open, there could be events happening, and these could be quite sudden. Now with Pallas, she brings strategic thinking, she brings wisdom and knowledge to the conjunction. Venus brings her ability to network, the ability to draw people to you, the right sort of people. Now it could be that it's time now within one of your group situations that you find that the group decides to fight for a cause and that you become active in that cause. Also, could be that someone suddenly appears out of the blue, someone that can help you going forward in the future. It may be a relationship, it may be a friend, it may be an acquaintance or a colleague. You will have to wait and see. And then the other aspect this is good for working with other people's money. This is good for handling large amounts of money. It's also good for looking at where you want to go, budgeting, strategic thinking about your planning ahead. So you can do all this at this time, and it will any work you put in now will be very much rewarded later on. On the 18th, we have your ruler Venus making a square aspect to Saturn. So it's a good day to evaluate your life, look at where you need to make changes. And then the other aspect to Neptune is in the 6th house, so evaluate your routines, your health, diet, fitness, exercise, your work routines, all of these things, and look at them with the cold light of day of Saturn and not the rose-coloured spectacles of Neptune, because that can only serve to delude you. So look for those changes that you need to make and then make them. On the 19th is a totally different feel because we have Jupiter making a square to the Black Moon Lilith. Now, we spoke about the Black Moon earlier in the video, and there are intense emotions and desires that could surface on this day. Jupiter's in your 7th house. This could involve relationships. So this is a day when, if you feel that you're being held back or you feel that you're out of control, that you may kick back a bit. This is quite a rebellious side to this activity, so just be aware of that within your relationships. Now, the other thing is there's some good communication going on as well, because we have Jupiter making an aspect to Mercury. It's just that you just need to be careful, because you can get a little bit hot-headed with this aspect, because Jupiter's in Aries, so you could blurt things out very quickly and then regret it later, so just be mindful of what you say. On the 21st we have the summer solstice, when the sun is at its highest point of the whole year, and also the sun moves into Cancer on this day, so this is the start of summer, this is the end of spring, so this is a day to celebrate. Also, it's a day of high intensity because we spoke about the Jupiter aspect, which lasts 6 days. In the middle of this comes Venus, your ruler, making an aspect to Pluto. When Venus and Pluto come together, there is strong emotions and incredibly strong desires. So be aware that that's happening on the 21st. Then on the 23rd we have your ruler moving into Gemini. This is your fellow air sign, so communication within relationships will become quite crucial. Also, with Venus up in the 9th house, it'll be time when you'll want to be a little bit more spiritually involved, you'll want to be a little bit more philosophical, and definitely you'll want to think about planning some travel. On the 27th there's a aspect between Mars and Saturn. This is not one of those high energy aspects. This one is will be fantastic for working with others, because Mars is in that 7th house. So it's good to work on a joint project and to get along with other people as well. Use your creativity together. Then on the same day we have an aspect between Mercury and Chiron. So people you come in contact with this day, it'll be easy to talk to them because they will have shared experiences, shared wounds, shared hurts in the past. So it's a great day to talk things over and get along with people so you can mutually help each other. And also on the 28th we have our second planet going retrograde. This is Neptune going stationary retrograde in your 6th house. Now the 6th house is about your routines, so this is a time when you can look at your routines and see where there are things that you are doing that are detrimental to yourself and to your health. This is a nice opportunity to work with those. It's also a good time to develop service to others for no reward, and just do things to help others without that necessity. Two aspects to Jupiter on the 28th. The first is a square from the Sun, and the Sun's in the 10th house. So this is a fantastic opportunity to take on the world in your career area or your public standard. This is a time that you can really achieve and be successful. But your confidence will be so high, you've got to be so careful that you don't steamroller over people. Be mindful of that. Also, there's a positive aspect to your ruler, Venus. So this is fantastic for relationships and partnerships, whether they are love partnerships or business partnerships. This would be a great time to start up a business partnership or a business project with somebody else. We finish the month with our new moon on the 29th. Now this is a new moon in Cancer, but it's in your 10th house, so this is a very important new moon. But also it's a triple conjunction, because we have the Sun and Moon conjunct, but we also have the two conjunct the Black Moon Lilith, and we spoke about the Black Moon Lilith earlier in the video, and this is a very important time. Now, with the new moon in Cancer, it's about improving yourself. It's about using some self-mastery. It's about learning some new things and tapping into your intuition and using your intuition to help you go forward. With Cancer as well, it's good to recognise the past. It's good to connect with the past, see where you've come so far, and then let go of that and move forward into the future. With the Sun coming round and conjunct in the Black Moon, we spoke several months ago about this being a mini rebirth. All the things that you've been working on over the past year could now come to fruition. But also, the Sun will shine a light directly on the Black Moon and expose the shadow side. And you'll be able to see clearly what you need to do going forward over the next year. So this is a great time to look at where you've been, look at what you've got now, and look at what you're going to have in the future and work towards that. The next couple of weeks after this new moon, you can concentrate all your energy into these areas. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the June review. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe. If you'd like to leave me a comment, I'll be glad to hear from you.